feels like that they don't have personal style. To me, personal style is a catchphrase, and there are misconceptions which I want to clean up a little bit. Personal style describes an individual's unique way of expressing themselves through clothing, hairstyle, makeup, and accessories, etc. Nowadays, it's confused and sometimes summarized under one particular aesthetic, and this certain aesthetic stands for a certain set of values, aspirations, and goals of this individual, which can be helpful in the beginning, especially for younger people who don't really know themselves yet and try to make sense of the world and their own person and personality. Through sympathizing with one particular aesthetic or subculture, they try to put themselves in a box, or at least put a label on what they actually like, so then they can create their persona and identity around this subculture or aesthetic. Personal style is undoubtedly influenced by culture, art, music, and the contemporary zeitgeist. This is where the first question poses itself: to which degree can an individual actually have unique personal style when everything is influenced? This is the first misconception that a lot of people struggle with when creating their own personal style, is expecting themselves to be a unique snowflake that creates their own aesthetic and style. And while I believe that we are all unique in our own ways, we are undoubtedly inspired, and this is not a bad thing. This is normal. You can't really go around this. And even if there are people that think of themselves as super unique, most likely they're not. You don't have to put yourself under this pressure of creating an outfit or an image that has never been seen before. I mean, you can do that, and if this is your appeal and your standard to yourself, try it. I think you will burn out sooner than later, but it's more about the refinement and understanding of who you actually are and getting to know yourself and what you like and prefer, because we are beings of preference. We like one thing over the other more. So this is where you actually create your personal style and identity and image, by exploring who you actually are and by exploring what you like. And not only in clothing, this is not only specific to clothing and fashion. Even if your main goal is to create a personal style, it's much deeper than that. It's your understanding and your value of beauty, what you value in things, architecture, food, music, art, whatever the genre really is. It's a composition of everything. I want to come back to the aesthetic movement for a second again, because I don't think we should condemn aesthetics as entirely bad or evil. In the fashion context per se, I think it's a good starting point, especially for younger people and people who are not really into fashion that deep, and who maybe don't have a deep understanding or even interest in fashion. It's still a good entry point to the fashion world, and for the individual to understand, okay, I like the clean girl aesthetic over the mob wife aesthetic. Even though for a fashion connoisseur and enthusiast, it hurts me a little bit to say this, but I feel like it's better to make this distinction instead of just wearing the Lululemon tracksuit and Adidas sport leggings every day. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more individual. It's not solely utilitarian. It has a little bit more depth to it. And I mean, this is still valuable, and if the person feels more comfortable and more like themselves in this kind of clothing and aesthetic, it's a plus for them. It's really better for them. The only problem is that with the aesthetics and the trends changing at this rate as it is currently, there is no way you can actually get to know yourself, because you're busy catching up with what is trending, and personal style and understanding yourself is much slower than that. You actually need more time to refine your style, to understand what do you like to wear, where your what you gravitate towards on a day-to-day basis, and how you want to present yourself in the world. This is also something that changes. If you're about to ask, when will I be done with this? And when will I figure out what my personal style is? The short answer is never. You will never arrive at a place where you will know 100% and predict 100% what your style is, because you're ever changing. Everything is changing. Change is the only constant in this universe. So put off this pressure of figuring it out already. You will never figure it out 100%. It's a work in progress. But what I know is your core values and sensibilities won't change as often as trends will change. So it's still more sustainable. And honestly, it's more fun. You will feel much more in tune with yourself, and you won't feel as burned out as running to Zara every other week to buy the new trending item. It's just not worth it on a financial level and on a soul level as well. I appreciate the methods that have been created around personal style, like the 3-word method. I'm a little bit unsure about the 3-word method because it can help. Again, it can help, like the aesthetics can help with defining personal style, but also it can put you in a box. Even me, I have a pretty simple, basic style, but I can't put it into 3 words. It just stresses me out. The type of beauty that I like, or the feeling I get from certain things, I can't put it into words. Words are so limited, and they are not very liberating to me. They are more confining. This is why I don't really know if I dig the 3-word method. I see why people like it and how it helps them, and I love it for them. But it's just not my cup of tea, and maybe you feel the same way. Okay, we covered all that up. How do you actually curate personal style? And this is where I touch on the points that I have stated before. You ask yourself ongoing questions, and it does not have to be like this straightforward question of, do you like this band? Do you like this aesthetic? Even though this can be a part of your own questioning, but I mean a broader sense of questioning yourself and getting to know yourself. For example, with going out, I don't care where it is, if it's you going grocery shopping or going on a trip or traveling somewhere. Notice how you like one thing over the other. For example, notice how you like one type of smell more than another, or one type of taste of something, or the texture, or the feel of a certain fabric. Notice not only if you like it or what you like more, but also notice how it makes you feel. Does it inspire something in you? Does it spark something in you? These are the questions and notes you have to take for yourself to really understand, okay, this is where I feel home. This is what I truly love. And by cultivating this exercise, it's really an exercise of awareness, essentially. By cultivating this type of awareness, you will understand yourself more. Another exercise, when watching a movie, notice how the costumes play their own roles, like a third-party actor. It's so interesting to notice that. And I think it's a great exercise to develop your sense of style and sensibility surrounding beauty. The next practical point in creating your personal style is to understand your body. And as an image consultant, I'm a fan of KB body types. I'm a fan of categories, but I'm not a fan of being rigid with it. Meaning, if you're not really familiar with what shapes and silhouettes look best on your body type, or your body in general, let's put the types aside, I feel like it can be a great starting point in understanding your body through generalizations. Meaning that, of course, color seasons and body types and essences, these were all created by humans. There's no such thing as a categorization in nature. But I think it can still be helpful, especially if you're beginning with this. It can be helpful, and then by trying things out, you still can decide what you like and what you don't really enjoy on yourself. So I think it can be a very helpful tool. But with understanding your body, I don't necessarily mean getting your body typed. I feel like it's more important to understand what you like on your body in a sensory sense, in a color sense, in a sense of, do you like to expose certain parts of your body? Do you like to be more modest in your fashion overall or around certain parts of your body? These are all things that are important when creating your personal style, because maybe you like modest fashion, but then you go out and buy something with a deep v-neck because it's trending or it's something that is available, but then you never wear it. This is the most basic example ever, but I mean, you get the point. By doing all of these exercises and training your eye on finding beauty and finding your taste, you will automatically slow down your purchasing process and your buying process and your consuming levels, and you will find that you will become more mindful about your purchases and really like them more. And it will be a sustainable change, not only for your pocket, but also for your wardrobe in general. You will have pieces in your wardrobe that you can pass on and that you're proud of and that you like to show off and to wear, which is honestly the point of all of this. So let me know if you have some tips on what has helped you with creating personal style. Also, one thing are Bliss Foster's videos. I love Bliss Foster down. I will recommend him to anyone who wants to learn about fashion and wants to understand what they like, because the knowledge that Bliss shares with the world and the way he articulates himself in such an intelligent way really helped me with understanding what I like and what I prefer and what I find inspiring and interesting, and how can I spice things up in everyday life in my own wardrobe. So these types of documentaries and resources help me tremendously. But please share your resources, your processes, your thoughts on the topic of personal style with us. Let's muse about it, let's talk about it, and let's share the knowledge. See you the next time.